Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harchachodash. No belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, elect. Shalom unto you. Your brush required with a video. And I want to go into a couple things. Well, really one thing, but I want to use ChatGPT, because this tool is powerful. If you, I've been saying about Google, or the truth about Google is if you can ask a good question, you can get a good answer. It's as good as you can ask a question. Well, ChatGPT and the different AI, different ones, this is what they do. Okay, so you can ask good questions and they'll come up with an answer of some sort most times, all right? And so I'm going to start off by getting into these missiles. And as I was searching, as I was bringing up a video, of this video came up. Okay, so I'll play that, and then I'll link it to the other video I did previously about the bunkers. Okay, how they're useless, and it just goes into it, and the scriptures support it. So let's play the video. And where the hell is it at?
Ballistic missile launched from a launch pad outside Moscow takes 26 minutes to get to Washington, D.C. There's 3 phases of a ballistic missile. It launches, it has boost phase. Imagine a rocket launches, that fire coming out the bottom. That's when it's detectable from space. Then it enters mid-course phase, arcing.
And of course, we already saw fair use. It's not for monetary gain or value, for educational purposes. But we also saw that we know the scriptures say within an hour, Babylon the Great shall be destroyed, right? Well, it said it takes 26 minutes from Moscow, so very, very quick. You can't, there's certain TV sitcoms you can't watch in that amount of time, all right?
Crosses the globe to its target. And then the last phase, when the nuclear warhead re-enters the atmosphere, boom, explodes over its target. The interceptor system is designed to take out the missile in mid-course phase. We have 44 interceptors. Russia has about the same. How are 44 interceptor missiles going to go up against more than 1,000 Russian nuclear weapons? Never mind the fact that each interceptor has a 50% shoot down rate. We are one misunderstanding, one miscommunication away from nuclear annihilation. Ballistic missile launched.
All right, I gave you the skinny on what it is, man. And it's like I said in the other video, you got to remember, man, that every video you see about nuclear annihilation and missiles being shot off and places being destroyed, they're always simulating it or giving America as the destination or the place where this is happening. This is like a common theme that this is going to happen to America. We're not only the ones prophesying, but the energy of the world is now pushing that out there. But it also is supported with biblical prophecy. So let me get the video that I was going to link this to, and then I'll get the other info, which is this bunkers are useless video. Okay. They got all kinds of information and how they annihilate and run through all kinds of things. Might have been the same lady with the video. It's probably in the algorithm now. But so this is important for you people to know. What are you going to call on that can stop this? Only thing that we have and we have faith in is the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, call on His name, and He comforts us that He'll beam up the elect out of the destroying parts of the earth before the destruction happens. Okay, and that's what we know. Now, whether you believe that or not, Revelation 18th chapter speaks on it. I'll grab that, then I'll hit the other precepts, and then I'll get into that ChatGPT. All right. Revelation 18 verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." What are the plagues? The destruction of the nuclear missiles. Okay, because the sins that are happening here, we know the wages of sin is death. So the things that this place is guilty for is going to get destroyed by thermonuclear missiles in World War III. And it's all the judgment. If you're left down here, it's because you were not worthy or not chosen to be elected to receive salvation. All right, and it's going to say it, let me see. For verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double her unto her double according to her works. In the cup that she hath filled, fill to her double. Where does it say? Let me see if I can try to skip down and see where it says it at. Yeah, right here, verse 10. Verse 10 says, standing afar off for fear of torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, speaking of America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment comes, which what I was quoting, which supports the 26 minutes. Okay, because how short is an hour in the scope of, 500 years or whatever this place it hasn't been that long, but close to 500 years this place has been, going on. Okay, so in an hour it's going to be wiped off the planet. Okay, and not only is America being wiped off, but it's the Edomite system in the Roman Empire, because it's the rebirth of the Roman Empire, is going to be taken down at the same time as well. Okay, this is all simultaneous. This is all one entity anyway. All right, so let's get a few other precepts, and then I'll get the ChatGPT. Revelation 6, chapter 6, verse 14. Yep, it says, funny. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll, and that's that mushroom cloud you saw, okay, in the videos, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Okay, all of this got burned up by the force and power of those thermonuclear missiles. All right, now let's go to Joel. So I'm going to read Joel 2, but this is what I put in ChatGPT, okay, for them to summarize and speak it as it was missiles and even nuclear missiles, okay? So I want to read it, and then when I read what they wrote, you'll see how the understanding is actually there. When you it'll make sense. Joel 2 and 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and horsemen, and as horsemen so shall they run. Now let me see if I can put them both up. Bear with me. Okay, so we got it here with Joel 2, right? I went from the 3rd verse down to the 11th verse. And it says summary of Joel chapter 2, verses 3 through 11. It says, as if God's army is symbolic of missiles. All right. And so it says, God's army moves with unstoppable force, like a barrage of missiles scorching everything in their path. Ahead of them, the land is lush like Eden. Okay, but behind them, it is left a barren wasteland. Okay, this is how you break it down. They strike with terrifying speed and precision, resembling war horses and horsemen in motion. Hey, because what you got to watch some of these ancient war movies, where they were horses on the battlefield and stuff like that. They move faster because they're on horses. They come with speed. They strike. So the power of that and the speed of it is what it's talking about, right? Their roar is like the thunder of chariots or the crackling of an intense blaze. Okay. It's getting down to that verse. It said, their arrival brings dread. No one escapes. They move. No one escapes. That's what that other video was going into. Okay. The bunkers are useless, right? They move in perfect formation, unshaken by obstacles or injuries. Now, am I saying that they're useless in a sense of they won't preserve people from some of the destruction? Some of it, people will be preserved. But when they come out of them bunkers, or when we dig them out of them bunkers, as the other video was talking about, okay, they're going right into captivity anyway. And they're going to be like, damn, I should have just hit the reset button and started fresh. Okay, anyway, it says they move in perfect formation, unshaken by obstacles or injury, unstoppable even through defenses. And we just saw that. Okay, it says there's only 44 missile defenses, and it still gets through 50% of the time. Okay. It says walls, houses, and windows offer no protection. Right? Their assault shakes the earth and darkens the skies. Yep. Let's see if we can. Yep. And darkens the skies. This is God's powerful judgment, executed by a disciplined and devastating force. Okay? The day of the Lord is overwhelming. Who can endure it? Okay? And that breaks it down. Then I had it says summarized as nuclear missiles, right? It says before the nuclear missile strike, the land is like paradise, but after it's a desolate wasteland. Nothing survives. They come like with the roar like war machines, blazing with fire, consuming everything like an unstoppable inferno. The terror they bring causes people to panic, and a lot of people don't understand how dreadful these nuclear missiles are going to be. Oh, it's going to be fire. It ain't like you turn on the stove fire. It ain't like a campfire. It ain't nothing like that, man. This is way worse. Okay? It says faces go pale with fear. They move with deadly precision like elite soldiers in formation, never colliding, never breaking rank. They pass through defenses, penetrate cities, even invade homes like a thief. Right? Yeah, right there. It says their impact shakes the earth, darkens the sky, and blots out the sun, moon, and stars. This is the voice of the Lord, the voice of God, Yahweh, through destruction. I added in Yahweh, of course. His judgment unleashed with overwhelming power. The day is dreadful and mighty. No one can withstand it. Okay, so it broke it down. So when you see it, this breaks it down the way you can get ChatGPT. If you have a sense of understanding, it can put it in words to help explain what's going on. But you got to know some of the variables, and that's what I always liken this truth unto, which we know the word truth in the Hebrew is a moth, which is where the word math comes from. Okay, and so it's like this truth is like algebra. Once you put in the right coordinates or the right variables, you know, into the scriptures, you get more understanding, and it paints a clear picture. So me understanding that this was about missiles, putting that in the context of missiles and nuclear missiles, it gave the breakdown. Okay? Even though this is a pretty simple scripture, but it still gave the breakdown. All right? So useful tool. But continuing on, it said what we've been saying about it, and what the lady even said about the missiles. Man, you can't stop it. Okay, what are you gonna do? It said even if you did survive in the bunker video, even if you did survive and come up, the nuclear fallout is still up there with the radiation, and then it's a desolate wilderness with no agriculture. Like, how are you really gonna survive long term? And we know that these elite have put all the things, seeds and everything, they got it all up there. You know, they supposed to live for so long and let the land grow back regular, and you know, they got all these ideas, but none of that gonna happen according to prophecy. Now, I got more precepts though. Okay, so I brought, the screen of that video, and it says, this is Revelation 9, verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. Okay? And so she said 44, come on, it's not even close, right? Because it's not just Russia shooting from Moscow or whatever. It's China, which there's a video of China getting it in. Let me see if I can find that video also, because that's edifying to put that in. But let me read it. It says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Talking about the nuclear warheads, which she spoke about this in this video. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I like that look.
The globe to it enters mid.
Okay, yes. Right there.
Warhead, the nuclear war.
All right, and you got the warhead. That's what it's describing in its power. It says, by these three, the third part of men were killed by fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. And what's the third part? There were the sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked. So the sons of the wicked would be destroyed with this. Okay? Completely off the planet. Well, I don't want to say that. They won't be completely off the planet at that point. Okay, but this is what's taking them out of power. All right, for their power is in their mouth. The head of the missile, okay, is in the front of it, and in their tail, for their tails were like serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And that's talking about the propulsion that she was speaking about in the other phase. Let's see.
This is of a ballistic missile. It launches. It has boost phase. Imagine a
boost phase.
rocket launches.
Right there. That's it right there. Okay, that's why a serpent of a tail, and they do hurt, and they're going to kill a lot of people with that. Okay, and it goes on in the 20th verse, but let me see if I can find this other video where China, I was just seeing about China. All right, so here's the video. All right, and I'll just play it.
Is astronomically bigger than what we have now at this point. A new aircraft carrier every year, we can't do that.
The Pentagon, in the past X number of years, 10, 12, 15, all of its war games against China, we lose every time inside the Pentagon war games. China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. Take hypersonic missiles. Our whole power projection platform is aircraft carriers and the ability to project power that way strategically around the globe. And yeah, we have a nuclear triad and all of that, but a big part of it. And if, 15 hypersonic missiles can take out our 10 aircraft carriers in the first 20 minutes of a conflict, what does that look like?
China's Navy is...
And it just shows you how this is going to go down, man. Okay? And I mean, when you get into what Russia's doing, what China's doing, the beef with Iran, and you start looking around the world, you see that this is coming to pass, via biblical prophecy. All right? So, more info, there was a longer video, which I haven't watched it. I saw the short version. I did find the larger version before this TikTok version. But let me get a couple more precepts and close. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 13, and I'll start with verse 4. For the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. All right, and it's going into Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, World War III, the gathering in the land of Jehoshaphat, where this war is going to be fought. And they're going to be using these nukes, and they're going to be flying over in aircraft carriers and so on and so forth, right? The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. He brought this together. You get into Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, it shows you who's lining up with who. And that's exactly who's lining up in modern times. Turkey's even lining up against its NATO allies, particularly with America. All right, it says they come from a far country, because it said from Moscow to D.C. in 26 minutes. Okay, that's intercontinental. They come from far country, from the end of heaven, one side of the sky, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation, okay, to destroy the whole land. What's that talking about? Isaiah, the 54th chapter, the 16th verse. Okay. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Okay. Let's go to Isaiah 54 real quick, then we'll close with one after that. Isaiah 54 verse 16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bring forth an instrument for his work, and have created the waster to destroy. So the Lord had this created, and he has it set up to take out his enemies. Okay? Crazy, man. It's crazy how it's so real. The scriptures are coming to life. Our faith is being proven and being realized. Okay, the elect are fully locked in, and the things to, so if this part be true, the things to escape this judgment have to be true as well. All right, and we'll close with 2 Ezra 16 verse 2. Gird up yourselves with, if I read 1, woe be unto Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Okay, and you can take it literally in that area, that Middle Eastern area, even over to Asia, or you can take them symbolically for the countries they represent, whether it be China, whether it be America as Babylon, Egypt, and Northern Africa with Syria. You can take all that whole region and that Fertile Crescent area, and you can plug it in as you need to. But it all still lines up as it's supposed to, man, to destroy particular places of the earth. Okay? So gird up yourselves. And America being the place of its major destruction, though. Okay, it says, gird up yourself with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. And that's what these missiles are going to bring. It said, a sword is sent upon you, who may turn it back? Once they're shot off, it's too late. And it's already sent prophetically, so it's going to be executed. And there's nothing you can do about it. All right? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Now let's drop down to verse 9. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? And it even said lightning and thunder in Joel's breakdown with the ChatGPT, talking about referencing the missiles. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Because they're going to disintegrate people and things, okay? And that's what it says, the elements shall burn with fervent heat, the elements shall melt with fervent heat in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. All right? It continues to say, the earth quaketh, we saw that in Joel 2, and the foundations thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. Tumultuous waves, right? And the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand, and we know Yahweh Shai is the right hand, that bendeth the bow, that gets this to be shot off. His arrows that he shooteth, those arrows are missiles, that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. Okay, they're going to hit their intended targets. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, intercontinental. Okay, 26 minutes from Moscow to DC. That's intercontinental, man. All right, so that's the point. You can read the rest, pause and read the rest if you don't know it. If you do know it, great. Leave something in the comments if you want to add. There's plenty of other scriptures, but yeah. So just want to go into that, hit the ChatGPT with it. I'm just getting into it, so I'm late to the party with it. But hey, it's a good tool and very useful once you really understand how to use it. And it broke the scripture down. When you have a general understanding, it broke the scripture down for you. So Lord, when it's edifying, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem Rachak B'dash, that belong to our apostles, the bishop, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you elect. To the next one, Shalom.